Got lots of note takers. Wait.
Ta-da. Welcome to Coffee Hour. Hey, Sandra.
Hi.
Joe. Lisa is connecting to audio, so she can't hear me. Hello, G's note taker. I don't know if G will be joining us today, but he's kind of new to the community. A solid dude from Denmark. My speaking language is not Dutch. I've never seen this before. It sounds like you may have switched to a different language. Please update so we can provide better quality transcription. That must be G's note taker. No, we're in English. We're in English. There it goes. It's interesting. His note taker can attend when he is not here. It's kind of cool.
This AI world is moving fast.
Yeah, very, very fast. Are you guys like pretty plugged into it? Or just kind of like,
I
okay.
feel like I should be, but
Well, yes, you probably should be. At least to your limit, to your threshold. I mean, it's incredibly useful. So, I think I've told you guys about the like business mentorship group that I'm a part of. It's called Quantum Coaches
yeah.
on school. And they have a call on AI every week. And the guy that runs it is like he's he's so funny. His name's Luis. And he lives in I think he's in Costa Rica right now, or maybe he's in Brazil. I don't know. He travels the world and works from his laptop, and he looks like he just walked out of a cave in like prehistoric times. He's got his hairs everywhere. He's got this big beard, and he's just like sitting in the coffee shop, just like sucking down his espressos and just like deep in the world of AI. But a lot of what they do is now shifted from, like building courses and coaching people through it and everything to building AI like GPTs and things, and then leveraging AI through the coaching process, which is what I really want to do too. And so I think I've told you guys I've been building some AI assistants and things like a neuro performance coach that I've been training, and I want to be able to launch that in kind of like a course where it's built out because you can build them out where it like drips out different lessons and ideas um, over time. And you just kind of like you can build a course with AI and walk through it with the AI as the coach that guides you through it. Um, so it's kind of cool, fascinating how that they're setting it up. And I found it really useful myself. And then the community is where you go to have real human interaction and get feedback on your work and all that. So, um, anyway, and this is just like one tiny sliver of what AI could be used for. We can also take over the world, if you hadn't heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like anything. There's going to be the yin and the yang. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? It's like kind of like a chill energy today. Is it just hot everywhere? Because it's ridiculous here. It was 115 yesterday.
Oh my God.
Supposed to be 117 on Thursday.
Oh, that's terrible.
It really is. I uh I hit the point yesterday where I walked into the gym where I train people, and there's like four or five other trainers in there, and I just like started yelling. It's like, this is bullshit. You could fry an egg on the pavement.
Well, Montana was beautiful. The weather
Yeah,
was spectacular.
it's pretty great right now.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You guys made it through Yellowstone and
We did do a bit of Yellowstone. It was like we were supposed to start at 7, but everybody wanted to sleep in. So we did it in 6 hours. But we saw a lot. We saw bears, we saw wolves, we saw like a ton of stuff. It was really unbelievable. A little bit of walking, not a lot. It was great.
what'd you
We
think
did
of
a little
Livingston?
rafting the next day. And so it was a fantastic trip.
What'd you think of Livingston?
Livingston was awesome, super cute town. Great, really good restaurants, and yeah, it was fabulous. I mean, honestly, there was nothing. It was a fantastic weekend.
Good.
Nothing bad about it except our flight home through weather patterns and stuff just took a little longer, but that's okay. It was worth it.
Good.
Oh yeah, and we missed you in class.
I know I had a wedding that I couldn't get out of. How was it?
It was great. Yeah.
Did you go? Did you go in person?
No, no.
Oh,
Wish I could. I had a bar mitzvah officiated yesterday, so
nice.
I couldn't.
Joe was there. I saw him.
I saw Joe there. Yep.
I was
Brandon
so
came
sad.
showing off triplets. You missed out.
Hmm.
Brandon,
Yeah.
you did a appearance?
I did bring the triplets for an appearance.
Oh, I'm sad. I missed them.
Yeah, it was good. We were there for about a half hour.
That's awesome.
Just enough time for them to rifle through all of Joe's stuff and get slobber on it and hopefully not break anything, but
Yeah, yeah. I need to sit down and start watching the replays. I'm excited for it.
I did not re-sanitize baby germs on the neuro drills, but I'll be okay with that. And if anything's broken, I probably wouldn't notice that they did it anyway. I would think I did it because of how I carry it all.
Babies don't have germs, Jeff. That's great.
I don't really worry about germs. That's why I wasn't worried about it to begin with.
Yeah. Brandon, you're going to be teaching M9, is that correct? Maybe.
I'm doing M7 right now, so yeah.
Okay, and what day is that? Because I think it's staying the same day. Because I'm going to try to do that. What
I have
day?
no idea.
Well, what day is M7? Aren't you teaching that
Right now it's Tuesday afternoon or
I think they were going to keep it the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're keeping it the same.
okay.
They're
Y'all
So-
know what I do.
That's what
Is
they
it what time right now, Brandon, do you do it Pacific time?
It's right after this call. It's 11 a.m.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Great. Because I'm going to do M9. I'm going to take a little break.
And I have not spoken to Matt about that, but that's just kind of been how it's worked out. And we don't have any new instructors. I mean,
Okay.
Lisa's in the mix, but I don't know if she's ready to start taking on.
Okay.
I think the plan was for, I don't know if it's this one or maybe next year, for me to actually take over full reign of the mentorship and have an assistant. Like
Okay.
Lisa joins me on the calls and I lead them type of thing. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Again, I haven't talked to Matt and Kathy about any of it, but I'm kind of assuming I'm doing M9 and I think it starts in December.
Yes, I think that's correct.
He said this weekend about that they might just have it start after into the new year versus trying to smash it in 2 weeks before the holidays.
Mm,
But they weren't sure how that would go or not go, so they were thinking about it. Is what was expressed out loud verbally at training.
Okay.
mm.
Yeah. That'd be better for me, but whatever. I'll do it.
It'd probably be better for everybody.
It's interesting though, because do you start 2 weeks before so that you finish your year right before the holidays? Or do you start after and then have this like fourth quarter end of the year training happening at the holiday time?
Yeah, I like the right after the new year. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point. I don't know.
So, there's move that around a little bit, however.
Hmm.
You find your groove, won't you, Brandon?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chill. I'll just swoop in there and do whatever needs to be done. My life is pretty flexible is the wrong word, but it's flowy. I just kind of go with the flow. It's all good. I mean, I'll be here regardless. So whatever happens with NLN, I'll just go where they tell me to go. How was live training? What'd you guys learn? I know Lisa hasn't watched replays yet. That's a lot of replays. Damn.
I've already had to do that because I missed one other weekend too. It's a lot, but worth it.
It's something I'm struck by how even though it's almost the same, it feels so different being live versus watching the recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a huge difference.
I'm
I've
trying to
never
trying to
watched the
understand
recordings.
that. Because it's different than like being live in person versus watching the recording, but being live watching Zoom versus watching the recording feels very different. Why? Is it knowing that there's other people is
Yeah,
it that
I think so. I think there's an extra level of like attention that you give when you're live with other people. And
yeah.
there is the chance that you might have to engage. So you get a little bit more focus. It's really hard to watch replays.
Oh, the recording's terrible. It's like, I
Like
mean,
the
it's great to
quality of it.
have it, but it's just like, it takes double the amount of time because you just get distracted and you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I yeah. I try to always make it live to anything. Otherwise, I have a really hard time
Yeah,
focusing on a replay.
agree.
I try
Although
to
I've
do
been
like
listening
three
to
other
your
things at
replays,
once.
I've been listening to your replays when I walk. And so that's been a really nice, that's been a win because I get two things done at one time. And
Nice.
yeah.
I've been doing podcasts like crazy lately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been on like 10 in the last 2 months.
Nice
That's
job
been,
of marketing in your school group.
I know, I'm pretty good at that.
yeah. And I like all your Instagram posts too.
Wait,
Yeah, thank you. My assistant has been posting, trying to get more consistent with it, but I don't have time to uh, wait. So I've been doubling up and trying to post myself every day as well. I'm trying to get better at getting in stories. I think that's a big opportunity for me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Joe, I know. Okay,
okay,
working on it.
Just tell your
I wasn't
assistant,
sure what Joe
Joe,
was
hey, I was
talking
on this podcast.
Yeah. Um, yeah, a lot of them haven't been released yet, but there are ones that I haven't even like talked about, and it's a disservice to the people that had me on their show too. So that's I need to correct that. Like Quinn, you guys met Quinn when he showed up the call that one time from Canada,
Yeah.
former
Yeah.
pro football player. I was on his podcast called Effort Over Results. Great podcast, great dude. He's trying to build something, and I'm just like not helping him out at all. So yeah, I need to like get that into my like content, kind of flow the system.
Just create that little standard SOP for podcasts. What do I do every time I'm on a podcast?
Yeah.
What's an
I need to
SOP?
figure that standard operating procedure.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Um, Back to AI again. So that's something that we've been building in this group is AI agents just in ChatGPT. You can do projects. You guys familiar with these? So let me show you real quick. It's pretty cool.
I don't even know how to make a reel on Instagram, so I'm way behind.
Well, you wanna make it easy.
Yeah.
If you actually want to do that, the easiest thing ever is, first of all, you can just talk to the camera.
Cool.
There's many influencers that do nothing but that, especially a lot of like scientific influencers. Um, they just talk to the camera. Their backgrounds or whatever just doesn't, they just, talk about something and they post it. Or even easier is you can use a photo as a reel and just set it for a certain amount of time and then you can just like put text on there. Super simple. Or what a lot of like fitness people are doing these days, the ones that are like actually working in the fitness industry and not just influencers, right? They just have like workout videos and they just have like 5 or 6 videos of them working out as B-roll in the background. And then they talk over it as a voiceover, or they just, again, text. They have their message. It's like 5 different little sentences. Those are all really simple things that you can do that don't have to be super complicated. The last one is probably the most complicated because you have to actually cut and edit 5 videos together. But I've done them always. I've spent 6 hours on one reel,
Yeah.
and it got me like 20,000 views. It was a very good piece of content, but I'm never gonna do that again. I don't have 6 hours to spend on a friggin' video, and nothing came out of it. Like I got a ton of views and everything, but there was no call to action, and there was no next step to take. So, it was just for the sake of the content, I guess. But anyway, it's got to be super simple. Like it's got to be easy. It should be easy, lucrative, and fun. You guys know that acronym? ELF, Joe Polish.
Mhm. Do people not post pictures anymore on Instagram? Is it everyone posting just reels, basically?
So pictures don't work. Like they just don't get reach.
Yeah.
But carousels do. So like yesterday I posted one. It's the same picture with different text on each carousel post or carousel. And there was like 7 or 8. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Um, I'll show you. Oh my goodness. This is like a serial killer here. Who is this guy? So angry. Oh man, I would never post that if it was me. My insecurities just like went through the roof. But this is the one I did yesterday. And it's just a different sentence, same picture.
Uh,
There you go.
So
Like
cute.
it took me like 15 minutes to do all that. And then this one I just took from a coaching call. The quality is garbage, but that's what you get with Zoom right now because I don't have a better camera. But I just use this Opus clip and you can upload um, like a full video and it will, let's see. Yeah, I did the Neuro recovery call and it'll split it up into a
There's
like,
me.
yeah, you're in there.
Oh,
Um, if you're ever in the video, I will message you. I won't just post you.
yeah.
Like there's a really good one of Kate. So I sent it to her. I was like, this is really great of you. Use it if you want. And she was like, you can use it. And I'm like, ah.
No, it's just because I'm self-conscious because I've been feeling so lousy. I look,
Oh yeah, I would never post you without
yeah.
your permission. Yeah. Um, and even then, if you didn't want your face, I could put B-roll on it, right? So you can go in here and you can edit it and add B-roll, and it'll do like AI B-roll, and it'll just find areas to put B-roll in there. It's actually
So it
pretty
just
cool.
splits it up on its own based on it like senses when to split it into. Oh my
Yep,
God.
yep. And sometimes it works just perfectly, but not all the time.
What's it called? Opus, you said?
This one's called Opus Clip. Yep.
OPUS?
OPUS.
Did you test this versus video?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of them. Video, stage. No, what was the other one? I forget the other one that I was using for a minute. They're all pretty good. They're all pretty similar.
I've used the video one, but I haven't used this. I haven't heard of this one. That's cool.
Yeah, this one's great. I mean, it's very similar. I don't know if you can really go wrong. Some have just little different features than other ones. But you can drop just a link to your Zoom video or a YouTube video or Rumble, right? Or just upload straight from Google Drive. It's pretty seamless. And then, okay, here's what I was going to show you. So this is my Chat GPT. And I have all these, I've been building all of these. Like this is the concussion coach. And it's got all these project files of different like manuals and things, and then it has instructions like you are my AI coach for the NeuroFlow concussion recovery coaching, which helps people with this. This is who I am. These are my clients. These are the core problems that we're going to solve, and this is my process. Boom, boom, boom. Phase 1, 2, 3. Here's your role. We're going to create these kind of tools. Preferred formats I want. And then I can just, this is kind of where I started building all those slides for the paid community. I just did a whole thing on concussion recovery. And I use this and it worked really well. And now I can use this for like a new client. I can type in kind of what they're dealing with, their symptoms and what their goals are, and it'll pump out like a concussion recovery program for them to walk through, or like an outline at least for us to use. And then like I have a marketing agent, a systems agent that's going to help me build all sorts of systems for my business. And then this is the Neuro Performance Coach GPT that I'm building. So anybody can come in here and use this. Here, create a 6-week speed program for a teenage sprinter. Let's see what it does. So I've loaded all sorts of my own knowledge along with some NLN resources, some of my strength and conditioning background resources. Here's the goals, weekly structure, weekly progressions. So it's got like my process, DNS with 3D maps, with Neuro, with, my style of strength and exercise training. So, right, that was very little context, and it just built me this whole program with PMRF activation drills. I don't know what these are. Lateral tilts with head turns. That seems weird. So then like this, I would go in and I'd be like, yo, I don't know what this PMRF drill is. So then I need to give it a little bit more context. Like PMRF activation drills. Here's a list that you can use. Right? So it has a little bit more context. So it doesn't, and that's just the process of training it. Just like you would train any assistant. OODA loop application drills. Look at that. Nice. So AI is very powerful. It takes some work to train it on the context that you want it to use. But man, it would take me like an hour to come up with that program that it just did in 5 seconds.
Do you have a paid version or do you have the free version?
Yeah, you have to have the paid version to do the projects, I think.
Okay.
It's $20 a month. There's a version that's $200 a month. That's like super intense. I don't even know what more you get with that, but anyway, very useful. And I personally use it as like a mindset coach for myself. I can have it, I can talk to it like Like I used this AI tool called Mind Sarah for a while. It was like an AI journal. And I loved that it had these different models. Like you could talk to Seneca or Marcus Aurelius or Genghis Khan. I don't know why you'd talk to Genghis Khan, but if you ever want to, try and take over the world, maybe. But it just had like these preloaded models, and it would have all this context and this background on these philosophers, or right, you could talk to Carl Jung about things, and it would use their context and their, systems and processes and philosophies to coach you as you talk to it. And so you can do that with ChatGPT too. You just have to give it the context that it needs, which can be tricky, at least when you're starting. I know for me, it was a little hard in the beginning, knowing like how to talk to it. But with practice, it's gotten a lot easier, and it learns about you the more you talk to it. So like, it has that voice function where you can literally just press the voice function and have a conversation, and it will just like speak back to you. And that's how I do a lot of things these days. Talk to AI and work out my jumbled brain.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's been a huge, I've been more productive in the past year than probably the previous 10 put together with the help of AI.
I
What's up,
no,
Sandra?
I just feel overwhelmed by it all. Like, in the fear of like, if I don't get on it, I'm just gonna fail too. Like with business building, like it seems like it's something you got to do.
Well, super helpful for building your business,
Yeah.
but it's never going to replace you as a human being that can connect with other human beings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you could go without it forever and be fine because you've already established yourself as a powerful coach and leader. And, but you can leverage it to help take care of a lot of the tasks and things that are not in your zone of genius, as they say. That's what
It
I'm
seems
really
oh, go ahead.
that's what I'm really excited for. Like I have my assistant and she's great, and she uses my AI a lot. Like she's posting and she doesn't know anything about neuroscience. She's learning, but with the help of Chet, that's what I'm calling him today, Chet GPT. With the help of Chet, she does pretty okay with like posting and captions and things. I don't have to edit them too much, right? I can kind of let her do her thing. And that's really helpful for her. And then she's using it to like build out these SOPs and systems and all that stuff that are going to help us scale this business much faster.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's that way you can really scale instead of staying like what I do is very individual with each person.
Yeah. So it can help you kind of take that individual process and turn it into something that's more repeatable. And that's when you can start to scale.
Mhm.
So pretty amazing, the capabilities, and we know nothing about what it's really capable of. And yeah, I've heard some murmurings, some mumblings, some things about the new ChatGPT model 5.0 that's supposed to be coming out soon. And it's going to be like another kind of huge leap in advancement with AI. And I mean, it's like, I don't know if we've actually hit that exponential curve yet, but it's coming very soon. So the best thing you can do is just start playing with it.
Yeah.
Like just start asking questions and just kind of see what answers you get. And always being aware that it will lie to you and it will hallucinate And it's kind of, yeah, numerous times I've asked it for like references for the things that it tells me, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't actually have any references for that. I'm like, where did you come up with that? It's like, well, I made it up. Like, oh, okay. Let's not do that anymore. Thank you. So in the instructions, you can have instructions loaded into your AI for context that it will always use. And so in there, I said, don't lie to me.
Ah,
And if you are making things up, or if it's your opinion, you need to tell me.
wow.
Yeah.
Does Chet tell you?
It hasn't told me yet, but I haven't reached a point where I need to ask it. Like I haven't questioned it yet.
Yeah.
Because it's been pretty good, right? I haven't had an experience where I was like, wait a second, where did that come from? I'm not familiar with that. And I think that has to do with the fact that I put those instructions in and that I've been training it for over a year now. Because every single conversation I have with it is in its memory. So it's always drawing on that memory of past conversations, which is an option you can turn on or off. But yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. So it's not like you're going to be totally out of a job, right? It's not going to replace um, coaches, especially. I mean, it's not going to replace community. Can't do that. It can't do real, authentic human connection. And it never will be able to in the way that we know it works. Like Chet does not have a nervous system. So it can't help you like co-regulate. And it's not going to replace the human brain. But it is going to replace a lot of the menial tasks that the human brain has to do. It's going to make it's like a second brain. It's not going to replace your brain, but it's going to help your brain work better. Cool. I didn't know we were going to talk about AI today, but
Yeah, I saw in the quantum coaching he was offering like to the free community. I just didn't have it in me to take it, and I really wanted to, just about how to build your own chat GPT. I just so
well, I can share. What do you mean, but building your own chat GPT? Like just in general, the instructions to use and stuff like that? Or are you talking about actually building a GPT for a specific function? Like,
I think about building it for a specific function.
okay. I can share with you he calls it the quantum GPT architect, and it's a bunch of prompts that'll walk you through how to build that GPT for yourself. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
The irony is you can ask Chat GPT too.
Yeah, you can. You can just be like, hey, chat or Chet, will you help me build a custom GPT for this purpose? And just be like, what do you need to know to help you build it the best way possible? And it will ask you, and you just, there you go. Start talking to it. Right. Like it's the mindset you want to have is that this is my assistant. Just like a virtual assistant, a real human being, right? Talk to it like that. Like, I want to do this thing. How do we do this? Help me figure this out. And it will ask you questions and you'll just go back and forth. Or you can just use this GPT that I put in the chat. It's a meta GPT about building GPTs. And I found it pretty useful as a starting point. And then it's all about iteration. So you use it, you see the flaws, and you go back and say, hey, let's do this differently. So, what's going on in your neuro and flow world these days?
But I have a question. When you're training people, like some people get such immediate buy-in from the neuro drills and they see it and they're like, wow, this is so powerful. And then some people just do not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking of my son specifically, where he's like a math major and everything has to be like proven and like, oh, I totally see the difference. He's like, like you guys were telling me stuff, but I didn't feel it and I didn't notice it. And I mean, he's not going to give up on it, but he's not. I'm wondering if maybe I don't know. I'm just wondering if we need to add different stuff so that he goes, oh my gosh, amazing. Or because I know we're working on one thing specifically, but he's like, I don't feel it. You guys are telling me stuff, but I'm not really feeling it.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm not sure how Brandon's going to ask this, but earlier he asked us about our weekend and training.
Hmm?
My biggest takeaway from training was around this idea of what we're feeling and not feeling. So it's like our insular cortex and our limbic system, they're constantly neurosymptoms for us. Like there's this they exist in every other system that's out there. So when somebody can't feel versus somebody who can feel everything, right? It's just like you're getting different feedback from him in your neuro training. So then like what would you do in the insular cortex assessments to kind of change some of that for him as well, right? So then some of the insular cortex types drills that he would assess positively for would then start to turn on sort of that system where he's now flexing and learning about his emotions, or he's learning about what his interoception is that he's feeling, versus you're getting the feedback right now that he can't feel that stuff, or he's not body aware when he makes his reassessment. He's not body aware to tell that it was a reassessment. So that again, that's another clue in his threat bucket in terms of like how good is his map,
Yeah.
right? So now you help him improve his map, and then you help him work on like the insular interoception type drills. Now he starts to kind of become aware of what this training looks like and feels like, and it's all there.
And then Brandon, I know you said, and maybe I was listening to it in the concussion thing that the replay, but that athletes are very good, especially like football players, hockey players are very good about turning off their interoception because they don't want to feel pain and they don't want it because he was a big lacrosse and football player and maybe he just has, like you said, Joe, no connection with that.
I I hadn't like if we listen to Margaret talk about energy and stuff like that, like I had no connection to any of that stuff. Like I was so disconnected. I would relate completely to what you said about your son, right? But then as I did all of these different energy therapies and learning and different things, like I was doing all of this neuro work, but until I went through the mentorship, I didn't have the lens or the language that kind of showed that. But I noticed all of my emotions change, noticed being able to energetically feel things completely different. But in essence, I was doing training that I didn't realize I was doing training.
Right.
Yeah.
The interoception is kind of, I don't know, it's weird to me and I don't totally understand it. So I'm super psyched that they're starting on that next. Like that's where the mentorship is starting. I'm going to go back and listen to it all, but I feel like I don't really understand it too well. So I need to go back and re-listen to everything. And then I'm very happy that it's starting there next time.
And like my first time through, I just like I caught it, but I didn't catch it. You know what I mean? It's like you catch this stuff, but I didn't catch that they were connected,
Right.
that all the systems, like how they're integrated, right? Which kind of speaks to this mismatch that we see in people and where we want to help them remap their brain, right? Like we can have this mismatch completely in these different systems where until it was like Matt was like, no, they're all together. Like this stuff is happening all the time. And it was like, oh, Now I see this lens a little bit differently. Even like this morning, I was on a call with a woman who's been really stressed out. I was actually talking with her husband, but she's been really stressed out about work. And then she has these body image issues where she's been trying to lose weight. And then she works out like crazy on a stationary bike. Well, she's got dysregulation in her emotional work life with stress. She's got dysregulation in her physical body with how she feels when she looks in the mirror. And then she's creating more mismatch every time she gets on the bike and rides, especially in her vestibular system.
Right.
Right. So it's like that, like, and again, this is almost a question for Brandon at that point, right? Like, does she really just need to stop riding the bike and get that to not be a mismatch in between her vision and her vestibular system? Especially since she already does have her vestibular system clearly has issues, right? So then it's like, how much more does she need to rebuild that map, and how much damage is a stationary bike doing to her, even though she gets all the emotional adrenaline benefits of putting her body through that workout?
Yeah, that's an important question though. Is she creating more mismatch on the bike? Maybe. If she's been
I think so, just because I think that what I've already learned is the vestibular issue.
Yeah, so she has a vestibular issue. She gets on that bike, and then that creates more mismatch between the communication between all the three satellites. You guys remember that analogy? Proprioceptive system, visual, and vestibular systems. They're like three satellites that triangulate your position in space. And when they're off, we get the mismatch. So you can create situational mismatch on a bike, on a treadmill, on a Stairmaster. If she's been doing it for a long time, she may have adapted to that a little bit, so it might not be creating too much more threat. It's possible, and the endorphins and the benefits of her aerobic capacity and, all of that may outweigh the little bit of mismatch that it creates. That's possible. It's also possible that it's creating more threat, and she gets off that bike and she's like woozy, and then she is more emotionally dysregulated after that. And so the endorphins and the feel-good chemicals that she gets after the bike, when they wear off, she's in a worse position. That's also possible. That's probably not as likely. And you'd probably do better to just train that vestibular system and train integration, in her neuro sessions, and just let her do the bike because she likes the bike. That's, in my experience, the more likely scenario. Like if that's something you love to do, like I'm going to recommend you go outside and ride a bike. Get off the stationary if possible. But if it's like a cycle class and it's community and she loves it to go to spin, cool. Do your thing. Let's just fix it when you're off the bike. Right? It's like any athlete, you have these skills you have to do. And for your sport, we're going to push you into threat and inoculate you to that by helping you to bring your nervous system back down and train up these systems when you're outside of that sport-specific scenario. Right. So that's okay. And it seems like there's a lot of opportunity in other areas of her life to integrate and to do that insular training and to really get that interoceptive awareness and accuracy back up. In the case of your son, Lisa, this is a question, about, yeah, we can go deep into it and talk about the insular cortex and interoception and how all of the internal perceptions of the body get integrated in that area of the brain. And when there's a disconnect, then it's really common that like a range of motion testing doesn't do the job to get buy-in. Balance oftentimes is a better test where they can sense the changes. And because I have personal experience with this person, I know that balance was a good test where he could see changes. My first question after you said this was, well, is he continuing to retest after every drill?
I don't know because he's now, I'm going to a wedding for 4 days. I don't
Yeah.
have time, so I don't know, but I kind of want you to give it to him a little bit.
In
Like,
my experience, that's the main problem. They do the tests with me and then
yeah,
they stop reassessing. They just continue doing the drills, but they're like, I don't feel any difference. I'm like, well, did you actually assess
yeah,
your range of motion or your balance or your strength or whatever? They're
yeah,
like, oh no. I'm like, well, then how would you know?
yeah,
Right? And like 90% of the time, it's that simple. It's like you have to continue to give your brain the awareness. If you
right.
have an insular problem and interoceptive signals are just not getting processed, and this does happen a lot with contact sport athletes. Um, Not even just contact sport athletes, like all athletes. Okay. I don't care if it's soccer, gymnastics, they all deal with nagging injuries and pain at some point. And so one of the methods to get beyond that is to dissociate or just kind of turn down the insular cortex and those signals that are coming in. And over time, that leads to disconnect, dysregulation in those areas, and they don't feel things. And so, to retrain that, one thing that is really helpful is to see the changes, right?
Mhm.
We can do the insular drills, muscle mapping, breathing, joint mobility, any sensory inputs, vagus nerve stimulation. All those are great. And they help them feel what's going on in their body and be more accurate around it. But also, just noticing a change in your balance or your range of motion with your reassessment is internal or interoceptive feedback. So that helps train the system too. But you have to do it.
Yeah,
You don't just get to guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so that's number one. Sandra, did you have something to add?
Um, I just, I just want, it made me remember of when I was playing soccer and doing yoga and the difference of my relationship with my body with many of my soccer friends. And now it
Hmm.
just is like a big click. It's like, oh, I get it now. I could, that's
Yeah. A
the
lot of
big,
those athletes are disconnected in
and
some
then
ways
sometimes they would get annoyed at me.
because you feel too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
They didn't want to feel, they didn't want to do certain activities that made them feel,
mhm.
led to that. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you open the door for pain, usually is the thing that they're trying to avoid. So, you do that over a long period of time, you get pretty disconnected. So you got to bring that back. And then it always has to relate to their goals. That's part of it too. If you want to get buy-in, you have to relate it to their goals. Um, and so one thing that I haven't been great at in the past, but I'm working on and getting better at it, is in the first session or two with someone, really hammering home the connection to their goals, right? Like this pencil push-up is going to help you move better, be stronger, increase range of motion, and also help you read better and faster and comprehend more. And it's really going to help you like get to that next level in your business because of all these things. It's really going to help you perform better at your sport, run longer, run faster because of this, this, and this. So if you continue to do this, you will get those results. You can't beat that dead horse enough, right? To remember, help remind them of the why they're doing this in the first place. And there was something else you said in there, Lisa, about being mm, uh, a super nerd. We're all nerds here, by the way. But like very cerebral, right?
Hmm.
In his head a lot.
Yeah.
He's a thinker, a deep thinker, and reasoner, and he's very logical. And that type of person oftentimes wants to see the research, I want to know that this is proven in medical research. So without going on a whole diatribe and getting up on my soapbox about medical research and how it's all bullshit, it's not really, but there's a lot of fraud and a lot of cherry picking and a lot of designing studies that are going to help maximize profits going on, right? So you have to be a little bit skeptical when you're diving into that, and you can't, I could point you to many, many examples of clinical research that is just will blow your mind, right? I think Brian Thomas actually posted this not too long ago about this retraction of studies. Like thousands and thousands of medical research studies were retracted because of fraud. Everything about Alzheimer's research is being turned over on its head because of the rampant fraud. Because people, scientists, are graded on their ability to be published. So they're incentivized to publish at all costs. That's a bad system.
Then they get money for their publications and yeah,
Exactly.
all the money. I mean,
They're
It's a bad incentive.
paid for the results they're supposed to get.
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of problems. We all know that, right? It can be hard to in like a neuro session, it's hard to like convince someone of that, right? You don't want to spend 30 minutes like talking about medical research, blah blah. But the big thing, the big idea is like, first of all, it takes on average 17 years for medical research to get to the frontline practitioners. Applied neurology is really only about 25 years old, maybe 30. 30 years ago was when the fMRI was introduced, and we started actually scanning brains and figuring out different brain areas and what was going on. So there are lots of ways that we can kind of help somebody get off that or get out of that kind of, it's kind of like white coat syndrome, like just all trust goes to medical research. And if it's not proven, I don't trust it. It's like, well, here are 500 examples of client anecdotes where they got amazing results doing these same things.
Yeah.
Can we trust that?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you offered to tell him, I'll give you the reasons behind it. And he's like, no, I don't want to waste my time with this. I just want to get to it. So
Yeah. So then it's really more just about the buy-in and the experience that he's
Totally.
having in his own body. And
Totally.
that's where we got to get the buy-in. So that's all about, number one, like the easy things, like did you unplug the computer and plug it back in? Did you hit the power button? Like, are you doing your reassessment? That's how your brain knows that we're going in the right direction. And that's incredibly important. So we start there, and then we just look for more drills where we can get that more high payoff. That's the next
Right.
thing. It's like get those drills. Okay. So yeah. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of ideas when you do talk to him next. And then, when we talk to him, when I talk to him, we'll talk about that briefly. But it's partly setting expectations a little bit too. And that's on the coach to do that. So yeah. All right, guys, I have to run.
Thank you.
So thank you for showing up. Good to see you. Sorry we didn't get to talk to you today, but always a pleasure. Yeah, I got to go teach, so I got to get going. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye-bye.